Tonight on Sports Paws, both women's golf and women's tennis were just crowned MAAC champions. Let's see how they repeated in the MAAC championship.
Both Quinnipiac men's and women's lacrosse teams clinched spots in the MAAC tournament. Find out who they'll play.
And we have an exclusive interview with Kate Riley as she's coming back for her 5th year.
All this and more as Sports Paws starts right now. Welcome to Studio 125 for another edition of Sports Paws. I'm Joey O'Donohue.
And I'm Nick Antonianis. Joey, I'm super excited to be on desk with you for our final time, so let's just kick it off with some golf as they look to three-peat for the MAAC championship. Back to back to back. The golf team have become the second MAAC program to be crowned champions for 3 straight years. This is Quinnipiac's 5th MAAC championship in the last 10 years. The most by any team in the conference since the Bobcats joined the MAAC in the 2013-14 season. Now the Bobcats are preparing for the NCAA tournament on May 8th to May 10th, looking to take home their first ever NCAA championship. Not only did the golf team run away with some MAAC championships, but with some awards for the players. Second year, Fuji Zhang earned MAAC Golfer of the Year awards. Zhang became the second Bobcat to take home the award after last year when current captain Leanne Peralta claimed the honor last season. Speaking of Peralta, her and Kaylee Sakota were named to the All-MAAC laurels for the 3rd consecutive year. The duo have claimed the honors. All 3 of them played massive parts in not only the MAAC championship, but in the regular season as well.
The golf team wasn't the only squad to bring home a championship this past week. Quinnipiac's women's tennis team won its 2nd consecutive MAAC title on Sunday. They beat Fairfield by a final score of 4-1. This is their 7th MAAC title since joining the MAAC in 2013. They've also won the regular season outright 8 times and have been dominating the MAAC with a 60-1 MAAC regular season record since joining. The Bobcats will turn their attention to the NCAA tournament. The NCAA selection show will take place on May 1st at 6 p.m. Multiple Bobcats took home awards along with that MAAC trophy. 6 Bobcats collected all MAAC awards, and head coach Paula Miller was named MAAC Tennis Head Coach of the Year. This is the 7th time Miller has won this award. 3 players were named to the All-MAAC first team, including Alessia Trudin, Camilla Nella, and Vera Secarina. 3 Bobcats were also named to the All-MAAC second team, including Claire Koszelski, Jordan Bradley, and Nicole DeSophie. Now let's talk about how the men's tennis team fared in the MAAC tournament. The men's tennis team lost in the MAAC semifinals against Siena on Saturday afternoon. Quinnipiac entered the tournament as the number 2 seed, while Siena was seeded at number 3. The final score was 4-3. The Bobcats took the doubles point to begin the day, yet Siena won 4 of the 6 singles matchups. Andreas Wayland Meredez and Sharia Sood were the only Bobcats to win in singles action. But despite the postseason loss, a couple of men's tennis players brought home awards. Senior Kamal Karagazoglu and junior Sharia Sood earned all MAAC first team status at number 1 doubles as revealed by the league office on Friday. Karagazoglu and Sood helped lead the Bobcats with a perfect 6-0 record from the number 1 double spot in MAAC play during the regular season. The duo went 12-3 together in total at number 1 doubles. Now guess what, Nick? We got more championship action as the Quinnipiac men's soccer team faced Sacred Heart in the Spring Connecticut College Cup in Hamden. Roll the highlight. Hamden is playing host to the championship game for the CT Spring College Cup as the Quinnipiac men's soccer team look to hold up the trophy for the first time as they face off against the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Let's head right into the first 45 minutes. And early on in the first half, a bending cross threatened the Bobcats box, and it is found at the foot of a Sacred Heart player. It's blocked. Pioneers are crying for a handball, but the score will stay at 0. No Cabezas settles with the ball in the box. He's got just the keeper to beat, and the strong arm save will keep this game scoreless. Let's go into the second half. Have a look at Jason Budai, who's all alone, being held, but it doesn't matter. An absolute rocket into the top right corner gives the Bobcats a 1-0 lead, and look at the celebration. Budai's fired up after that one. In stoppage time, a free kick finds the head of Javier Lopez Cuyela, He lets the Bobcats bench know that this one is headed to penalty kicks. After the first 6 takers, Matthew Pisani stands on his line. He guesses right and saves it. The Bobcats can win the cup with a make. It's the newcomer, Berettes, who slots it home. Quinnipiac is Spring Cup championships. They win this one and add to their MAAC championship from the fall.
What an incredible game, Joey. Now we're going to switch over to the field hockey. The team announced their new head coach for next season. Nina Klein has just been announced as the newest head coach for the field hockey program. She will be the second head coach in program history. Klein returned to Quinnipiac after serving as the assistant head coach at Boston College last season. Klein has a history with Quinnipiac as she worked under former head coach Becca Main for 4 years. During her time, she primarily worked for the defenders and goalies. Klein will look to bring the Big East Championship to Hamden. After winning the national championship, the men's ice hockey team announced 2 more players coming back for a repeat. Jacob Quillen and Colin Graff are coming back to repeat the same success that they had last season with the program. After coming from Union, Graff had a season to remember, tying a program record for points in a season and getting the game-tying goal for the national championship against Minnesota. Jacob Quillen, on the other hand, had an incredible season with 19 goals and 38 points, including the overtime game winner to secure the national championship in Hamden. Both are looking to bring another NCAA title back to Hamden. Now let's switch locker rooms as the women's team will be having returning players coming back as well. Logan Andrews, Kate Riley, Alessa Hoskin, Jess Shriver, all returning for another year for the women's ice hockey team. Andrews is coming back for her 6th season after having a 1.74 goals against average. Kate Riley had an incredible defensive season. Hoskin had a career year with 7 goals and 24 points, and Jess Shriver had 4 goals and 21 points. These 4 will be big contributors to the next season as they look to join the men's team and bring home an NCAA championship. Women's ice hockey beat reporter David Kleffer sat down with Kate Riley, and the two discussed her hockey journey from youth to Quinnipiac.
Talk to me a little bit about the locker room environment. What's it like here?
Oh my gosh. I could not speak about this enough. This is like my favorite thing to talk about. I think that Cass has done a phenomenal job recruiting players to get here, and I think that over the years, our players and our leadership on the team, previously with Liv Coningston and then with Zoe Boyd again and Lexia Gia, they've just done a phenomenal job shaping the culture of this team so that we have freshmen, we bring them in, we kind of show them the ropes, show them how we operate, and it's a wonderful culture. It's really a family. I have so much love for this team.
Looking at your play on the ice, you were paired for the majority of the year with Zoe Ewens, who's her first year. Why do you think you guys complemented each other so well?
You know, I think it's because we're Canadian. No, but Zoe's a phenomenal player, and she has such a great history playing on Team Canada and everything. She is definitely fast. I think that's really nice. She brought some speed, some much-needed speed to our D pair, and she's got some skills. Seeing her progress over the year was phenomenal. Seeing her like breaking out the puck and making some moves, really growing into her role was great. So I think it was a fun pairing for both of us where we kind of got to complement each other and grow together for sure.
What did it mean to you now that you got into your senior season that Cass trusted you to kind of pair you with a first year, who's someone where she knew your play styles would complement each other, but also that puts you in the position to be a leader and kind of help that first year grow? Like, what did that mean to you?
That's definitely meant a lot. My freshman year, I was with the senior, Katie Tabin, and I was running around in the D zone, and I had no idea where I was supposed to be. And I remember she'd say to me, like, hey, you have to be in front of the net. And I wouldn't get it until later when I watched the video of the game. And so this year it was really different, kind of being on the other side of that and being the person who's supposed to know where I'm supposed to be and making those stick lifts at the net, making those little plays. I think that was a huge learning role for me, and I definitely struggled with it at times. Zoe Ewens had a lot of patience with me, which I appreciate, and it really pushed me to grow a lot, so I'm really grateful for that.
While not every seat is filled, there was one Kate Riley fan who showed up. She'd bring signs. Tell me how that started, kind of how and what that's meant to you?
That has been such a joy for me this year. So Mia came to one of our games and she had a sign that said something like, "Can I get a puck?" or something. So I flipped one over the glass. Dan probably didn't like that, but flipped one over the glass, and the next game she came with a sign with my name on it. So that was fun, and we've had a couple exchanges, which has been really nice. Again, she plays lacrosse, and so even though it's across a different sport, being able to have female athlete role models and the gift that it's been to feel like, oh, I'm a role model for this little girl, and maybe she'll go keep playing lacrosse, either play college or, learn something and really enjoy it, is such a privilege. It's been really wonderful.
Thank you, David and Kate. Now, Joey, that was a lot in the beginning of the show. I think we should take a break.
I was thinking the same thing. When we return, we're talking both men's and women's lacrosse as well as baseball. Stick with us on Sports Paws.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
What?
My.
Oh.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Let's head to the lacrosse field as the men's team went up against Long Island University for a chance to make it to the MAAC tournament. Roll it. Senior day in Hamden as the Bobcats face off against the LIU Sharks. We're going to go right into the first quarter. Starting us off, James Butler on a defender. He's going to make a nice move. He uses his speed to get to the top side, and he's going to sneak it down low, and it's going to be 1-0 LIU. Now for Quinnipiac, it's Evan Perry using his size, doing it himself. Quarter ends with 4-2 LIU. Now we're going to go into the second quarter. Quinnipiac on the man advantage. Trevor Douglas is going to find an open Dylan Donnery on the crease to bring it within 1. On the other side of the field, James Butler is going to dodge down the alley, but couldn't get the shot off. But Nick Colatonito tries the alley, gets the shot off, and we're going to go into the half tied at 8. Now let's go into the third quarter. John DeLucia, dodging from a defender, finds 7-7 and sneaks an underhand no-look shot. Bobcats now lead 10-9. Jake Tellers, once again in the front, beats him with speed and rips an absolute rocket. It is now 11-9 Bobcats. But wait, there is more. Jake Tellers again puts the team on his back and he does it himself with this shot right here on his knees. Bobcats are now up 12-9. We're going to go into the fourth quarter. Dylan Donnery will sauce it over to Justin Roberts with the silky finish, but hey, they are not done yet. Evan Perry is going to start off strong with the dodge, a roll back over to Dylan Donnery, and he is going to wrap this game up. What a shot right there. And the Bobcats are going to earn their seat in the playoffs with a 19-13 victory over the LIU Sharks. With the victory over LIU, the Bobcats have punched their ticket to the MAAC tournament since 2019. Lacrosse beat reporter David Marr has more.
The Quinnipiac men's lacrosse team defeated the LIU Sharks 19-13 here in Hamden. While the Bobcats punched their ticket to the postseason, they also honored the 2023 senior class prior to the start of today's game.
No, it's been great. As I'm now into my fifth year, they've got a good sense of the culture and the program we're trying to build, and these guys have been bought in from the beginning of the year. They're pushing the tempo. They're holding each other accountable. They're listening. So it starts with those upperclassmen, and you can see the younger guys below them just kind of filling in line and following their leadership.
Oh, it's great. I mean, the boys were really excited all year. We had this goal, but you know, it's hard because we had a great day, but we can't be satisfied. The real season's just starting now, and it's all about when you're playing your best lacrosse, and I think we're starting to do that. So we just got to stay confident, stay together, and keep moving forward one game at a time.
The senior class certainly made its mark on this game as John DeLucia led the way with 6 points in the victory. Jake Tellers also recorded a hat trick, and Ryan Schwender picked up his first goal of the season in the third quarter. He talked to us after the game about what a moment it was for him and his family here in Hamden.
It was definitely exciting for sure. My housemate, John DeLucia, actually was the one that assisted it, so that's definitely a memory we're going to have forever, I would say. So that's a good time for the parents and us and as a team, so that's exciting.
With a 5-4 record in MAAC play and wins in 3 of their last 4 games, the men's lacrosse team has punched their ticket to the postseason. Depending on where they'll fall, they'll look to continue the winning ways here in Hamden in the playoffs. Reporting from the Quinnipiac Lacrosse Stadium, David Marr for Q30 Sports.
With the MAAC tournament right around the corner, let's check out the MAAC bracket and who Quinnipiac will go up against. The number 6 seeded Quinnipiac will take on the number 3 Marist Red Foxes in the opening round of the men's lacrosse MAAC tournament. This game will take place on Saturday, April 29th. Quinnipiac and Marist have only faced off once this season. The Bobcats won that game by a score of 14-12 about a month ago at the Quinnipiac Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium. Also in the opening round, Siena will play Sacred Heart, and the number 1 and 2 seeds in Manhattan and the Mount will have a bye. After taking a look at the men's lacrosse results, let's see how the women's team did against Iona. The Bobcats dominated the Iona Gills on Wednesday afternoon with an 18-8 victory. This win clinched a MAAC postseason berth for the Bobcats. Quinnipiac jumped out to an early 8-1 lead in the first 18 minutes and 25 seconds of game action. By the end of the game, 4 Bobcats recorded a hat trick. This included Desiree Kleberg, Emily Feeney, Mia Delmond, and Sophia Iacino. Quinnipiac had more shots, more saves, and less turnovers than Iona. After routing the Gales, the Bobcats took a trip down to Maryland to face off against Mount St. Mary's. The Bobcats beat the Mountaineers in a low-scoring affair as the final score was 5-4. But this was another significant victory to close out the regular season for Quinnipiac, as it allowed the Bobcats to clinch a home playoff game in the quarterfinals of the upcoming MAAC tournament. There were 5 different goal scorers for the Bobcats in this victory, which included Desiree Kleberg, Emily Feeney, Mia Delmond, Sophia Iacino, and Ella Grace Delmond. Speaking of that MAAC tournament for women's lacrosse, let's see their placement in the bracket. The Bobcats enter the women's lacrosse MAAC tournament as the number 4 seed. They will battle against the number 5 seeded Canisius Golden Griffins. That game will take place on Sunday, April 30th in Hamden, Connecticut. Quinnipiac played Canisius just 9 days ago on their senior day and escaped with a 9-8 overtime victory. Desiree Kleberg scored 3 of Quinnipiac's last 4 goals, including the game-winning goal. We'll see if their opening round matchup can top that level of intensity.
Now let's move over to the Diamond, where the baseball team took on the Yale Bulldogs in the second round of the Battle of Whitney Avenue. Roll the highlight. After getting the series victory against the Iona Gales this weekend, the Bobcats look to continue their hot streak against the Yale Bulldogs. In the top of the 5th inning, where we see Quinnipiac appears to be out of the inning, but MAAC Tesoriero is unable to make this throw right here, and a run scores on the error. Yale is up 1-0. Now we're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. Jeff Piratoni hits a 2-run single for Yale, making it a 3-0 ball game. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning as the Bobcats offense finally gets it started with a Jared Zimbardo home run, and it's going to be Yale up 3-1. Staying into this inning, Kyle Maves gets a hold of this one as he drives it down the left field line, and he's going to bring home Anthony D'Onofrio with an RBI double. Yale is still up 3-2. Yale is trying to get out of this inning and maintain their lead, but Keegan O'Connor had some other plans as he ropes this 2-run single to give the Quinnipiac their first lead of the day, and it's now 4-3. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. The Bobcats are still looking for some insurance, and MAAC Tesoriero does exactly that as he hits a double off the wall, and it's going to be 7-4 Quinnipiac. And you really thought that Quinnipiac was going to be done? I didn't think so. Number 33, Sebastian Muller, hits a 3-run opposite field Oppo Taco, 11-4 Quinnipiac, and that's going to be it. Quinnipiac will win this game by a final score of 11-4, sweeping the series, and they're going to prepare for Canisius coming up this weekend series. After the victory over the Yale Bulldogs at home, the Bobcats traveled to Buffalo to go up against the Canisius Golden Griffins. The Bobcats would finish the series by only taking 1 out of 3 in the series. The pitching for the Bobcats struggled big time, giving up 30 runs in the season. The Bobcats' bats stayed hot, however. Sean Swenson had 5 hits this series with a couple home runs and runs batted in. Anthony D'Onofrio had 6 hits, including a 4-hit game on Sunday, and Keegan O'Connor with a grand slam in the 3rd game of the series. After the weekend series against the Canisius Golden Griffins, let's see where the Bobcats stand in this week's MAAC standings. Tied at the first spot is in the MAAC Conference with a record of 9-3 is the Fairfield Sags and the Canisius Golden Griffins. At third, with an 11-4 record, is the Rider Bronx. At fourth is the Niagara Purple Eagles. After is the Quinnipiac Bobcats. To round out the bottom is the Mountaineers, the Jaspers, and the Gales. We'll see if the Bobcats move on to the standings after they take on the Mountaineers in the weekend series in Hamden.
Nick, we've talked so much lax. I think we need to relax and take another break.
Well, Joey, it is the perfect time then, so we're going to go to our final break of the night. When we come back, we'll discuss softball and, of course, top 5 plays of the week. Keep it here.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Let's start by taking a look at how the Bobcats performed against Merrimack. The Quinnipiac softball team defeated Merrimack at home on Thursday by a final score of 3-2. The Bobcats got out to a 2-0 lead in the 4th inning. Then the Warriors tied it up at 2 apiece in the 6th inning. Quinnipiac responded quickly in the bottom of the 6th as Lala Pasquale scored on an error. It was Pasquale's second run of the game, and Bridget Nasser scored the other run for Quinnipiac. After defeating Merrimack, the Bobcats played their final 2 home games of the season in a doubleheader against the Iona Gales. Let's take the highlight. Senior Day in Hamden, Quinnipiac softball playing Iona in a doubleheader. Let's jump right in to Game 1, top of the 4th inning. Iona kicks the game off strong. Look at Kennedy Gonzalez as she grounds to second, and Iona scores a run off of that one. Gales get out to a 1-0 lead. Later on, same inning, Emma Capuano singles to left field, picking up 2 RBIs, and the Gales were safe at the plate in a close call. Iona takes a 3-0 lead. Flashing forward now to the 7th inning. You're going to see Capuano at the dish again at the top of the 7th. She skies that ball. Serena Fogg attempts to catch it, but she can't get there. That drops, and that would be all for Game 1 as Iona takes it 4-0. Let's get right into Game 2. The question is, can the Bobcats split on the day? We'll find out as we jump right in to the top of the 5th inning. Quinnipiac protecting a 4-3 lead. Iona's Jessica Chilcott at the plate. She drives a single into left field, and that ties the game, 4-4. Then, bottom of the 5th inning. Bridget Nasser celebrated Senior Day in style as that double puts the Bobcats up once again. They lead 5-4. Hilliard touches the plate and scores, and the Bobcats are jumping for joy. They're always electric over in that side of the dugout. Then graduate catcher Hannah Davis wanted to get in on the action. She reels a single into left field as well. The Bobcats take a 6-4 lead. Nasser scores, and a high five and a pat on the helmet for the effort from Hannah Davis. Now let's go into the top of the 7th inning. Iona was down, but not out. Jamie Sheeran hits a dinger beyond the center field wall, and that is gone. Cuts Quinnipiac's lead to 6-5. Yet the Bobcats were able to shut down Iona's comeback attempt, turning 2 on this play. Bridget Nasser masterminds the double play. Hilliard makes the catch at first, and Quinnipiac closes the day with a 6-5 win. They split against Iona in this series. Nick, do you know what time it is?
No, what is it?
You don't know? It's top 5 plays. Let's get it started. Top 5 plays of the week. Starting off with play number 5, it's men's lacrosse. You're going to see defenseman Ryan Downing blow past every defender in sight, shoots a one-hopper. That finds the back of the net for play number 5.
Well, clever. Excuse me, Joey. That was a good play, but to go to softball for play number 4, Jamie Sheeran hits one, thinking that she got a double, but Mary Fogg makes the brilliant catch, and the Bobcats would actually drop this game by a final score of 4-0.
Nick, we got to get back to the soccer field for play number 3. Watch Jason Budai being covered and held. It doesn't matter. He blasts a rocket into the top right corner, and Quinnipiac is leading in the championship.
Let's stay in the same field, but we'll go with lacrosse as attackman Jake Tellers with a running shot with an angle, and he connects. What a shot. Bobcats win 19-13.
Finally, the play we've all been waiting for. Number 1, game on the line. Newcomer Lucas Paredes blasts a penalty into the bottom right corner, and with that, Quinnipiac became Spring Cup champions. I've had a blast hosting this episode of Sports Paws with you, Nick, and being on this desk over the years for Q30. I want to give another huge thank you to everyone I've met and become close with here in student media over the years. My time in QBSN and Q30 will always be remembered and cherished. I'll only be a phone call or text away if anyone wants to chat next year. All love from me, Joey O out.
With this being my last time on air for Sports Paws, I want to share how thankful I am for being able to go live one final time and how fortunate I feel to have produced this show in my last year at Quinnipiac. I will never forget the incredible memories I had making content and creating this show every Monday with my wonderful fellow producers. I would also like to thank my production manager, Fiona Stevens, for shaping me into who I am today. This might sound like a goodbye, but I'm not done. I'll be going on air one final time tomorrow, and it's a little fitting because I will be going up against my sports director, the man who is the reason I'm a part of this station today. So be sure to watch Bobcat Breakdown tomorrow and see the Master versus the Apprentice.